Can I ask you a question? When was the last time you made a home-cooked meal that felt like comfort food but didn't stress out about the cost? Yeah, that's what I thought. This entire meal costs $10, and it's going to change how you think about cooking on a budget. Golden pumpkin soup that costs 77 cents a serving, buttery biscuits for 39 cents each, and apple crumble that tastes like a warm hug. This is what $10 can do. Hey friends, it's Rosa the Divine Chef. I used to think cozy fall dinners meant either spending $40 on takeout that always arrived cold or stressing out at the grocery store trying to figure out what to make. But here's what I've learned. The most comforting foods aren't the most expensive ones. They're the ones that you make with your own hands that fill your home with warmth and your heart with satisfaction without the guilt or overspending. This meal feeds 4 people for $10. And yes, it just happens to be plant-based. And even if you're not vegan, you're gonna love these recipes. It's just good food. All right, let's start with the start of the show. My creamy pumpkin white bean soup. Everything happens in one pot, and in a few minutes, I'm going to show you a trick that makes it silky and rich without adding any cream. That secret's coming up. Here's what we need. Canned pumpkin, garlic, onions, white beans, olive oil, veggie broth, carrots, and a few pantry spices. The whole soup costs $4. That's 77 cents per serving. When you buy soup in a restaurant, you're paying maybe $9 to $10 per bowl. Here, 77 cents. Same comfort, less money. This is where the magic starts. Heat your oil. Now add your aromatics, onions, garlic, and carrots. Just let them soften. That smell. Garlic and onions in hot oil, that's the smell that says someone cares enough to cook from scratch. I like to add the thyme and rosemary at this time so they can bloom. Now the pumpkin goes in. Then your white beans, drained and rinsed. Pour in your broth and season with salt and pepper. Stir it all together and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Let the flavors get to know each other and let your kitchen start to smell like fall. See how the colors are deepening? How it's all coming together? This is the part where most people tell you to add cream or coconut milk, but we're not doing that because I'm about to show you a trick that changes everything. But first, quick question. Are you team soup first or team biscuit first when you eat a meal like this? Comment below. I'm really curious how people dive into their comfort food. Now here's where the magic happens. What we're going to do is blend half of this soup, get it nice and creamy to get the same texture. Adding those extra creams actually going to cost $4 to $6 more. We're not having it. Watch this transformation. What was chunky and rustic becomes smooth and silky. The white beans naturally thicken it. The blending creates that luxurious restaurant quality mouthfeel without spending a single extra dollar. This is the kind of trick that makes people think you went to culinary school. But really, you just work smarter, not harder. Look at that color, that texture, earthy from the pumpkin, protein packed from the beans, warm, comforting, and satisfying. When my kids were growing up, they'd ask for seconds of this soup without even knowing it was plant-based. Because good food is just good food. It doesn't need labels. It just needs to taste like you care. All right, now let's make the perfect companion to this soup, my garlic and chive drop biscuits. Buttery, flaky, and so easy to make, you'll wonder why you bought them out that can. Canned biscuits from the store, about $5 to $6. And you know what they taste like? Cardboard, expensive cardboard. These homemade biscuits, 39 cents each. No rolling, no kneading, no stress. Just drop, bake, and enjoy. The whole batch costs about $3.15 for 8 biscuits. And the best part? You can make this dough, scoop it, freeze it, and bake fresh biscuits whenever you want. That's one of my favorite meal prep tricks. The butter needs to be extremely cold right from the fridge in order for it to handle the rubbing without it melting. You stop rubbing when the butter pieces are about pea size because those little chunks create steam in the oven, which makes flaky, tender layers instead of dense biscuits. Mix your plant milk with your apple cider vinegar. This will create that buttermilk tang. Pour wet until dry and stir until just combined. Don't overmix or they'll be tough. Scoop big spoonfuls onto your lined baking sheet. Don't worry about perfection. Rustic is what we want. Bake at 425 degrees for about 15 minutes or until it's golden on top. Look at this. Soft, flaky, that garlic aroma filling your kitchen, buttery and tender. This is what 39 cents can do. And the smell of these baking, that's the smell of a home that cares. If you're making this tonight, I want to see it. The full recipe is on my website, link below. Make it and post it in the community tab here on this channel. If you're loving these budget-friendly meals, you'll definitely want to check out my brand new Plant Some Pennies meal plan. It's packed with affordable, delicious recipes just like these, all for under $5 total. I break down the cost, give you meal prep tips, and even show you how to turn leftovers into brand new meals so nothing goes to waste. You can grab it right now through the link below and start saving money while eating plant-based. Now for my favorite part, dessert. There's a smell that takes me right back to my mother's kitchen. Warm apples, sugar, and cinnamon all caramelizing in that oven. That smell meant someone loved me enough to make something special. Not because it was expensive, not because it was fancy, just because they wanted to. This apple crumble costs 80 cents per serving. But the feeling it gives you? Can't buy that at a store. Here's what we need. Apples, sugar or maple syrup, cinnamon, oats, flour, plant butter, and a pinch of salt. You can make this in a baking dish for the whole family, in individual ramekins for something special, or even in your air fryer if you're cooking for one or two. And here's the fun part. You don't have to use apples. Try blueberries, cherries, peaches, whatever's in season or on sale. This crumble adapts to whatever you have. Toss them with sugar, cinnamon, and butter. That's your filling. Mix oats, flour, a bit more sugar, and cold butter until crumbly. Sprinkle that over your apples. Bake until golden and bubbling, about 25 minutes. Warm, sweet. The apples are tender, the topping is so crispy. 80 cents per serving. But that memory of my mother's kitchen, that feeling of being cared for, now that's priceless. So here's where we land. Creamy pumpkin white bean soup, $3.85. Garlic and chive drop biscuits, $3.15. And apple crumble, $3.20. That's 80 cents per serving. In total, for the entire meal, $10.20. Now that's $2.55 per person for soup, biscuits, and dessert. Comfort food for your soul and your wallet. This is what homemade does. It gives you control, it gives you flavor. You get to know exactly what's in your food. No preservatives, no weird ingredients, and no labels you can't pronounce. You get to wake up tomorrow with leftovers that taste better than takeout. You get to invite someone over for dinner without stressing out about the cost. Hey, come on in. Welcome. Now, before we wrap up, let me show you some tips that'll make this meal work for you all week long. The soup, it actually gets better the next day. The flavors marry together and deepen. Store it in the fridge for up to 5 days or freeze individual portions in the freezer for up to 3 months. That's a $12 restaurant soup you can grab from your freezer for only 77 cents. The biscuits, make the dough, transfer the dough onto a pan, freeze it, and put the dough balls into an airtight bag. When you want fresh biscuits, pop them straight from the freezer right into the oven. Add a couple minutes to bake them. Instant homemade biscuits anytime you want them. The crumble, make it in your air fryer for 1 or 2 people. 3 minutes, small batch, instant comfort. This isn't just dinner, this is your meal prep strategy for the whole week. Now here are some swaps if you want to customize. For the soup, no pumpkin, use butternut squash or sweet potatoes. Same vibe and comfort. Want it smoky? Add a pinch of smoked paprika when you're sauteing the veggies. Got leftover veggies in the fridge? Toss them in during the last few minutes. This soup welcomes whatever you have. For the crumble, swap the apples for blueberries, cherries, or peaches. Whatever's on sale or whatever's in season. These recipes are so forgiving. That's what makes it budget friendly. You're not locked into any rigid list. You're working with what you have on hand. This is what 1 hour of your time can do. $10, 4 people, and 3 courses. This is more than just dinner. This is proof that you don't need a lot of money to create something beautiful. If you want the same tools I use today, my Ninja blender, my Dutch oven, my full list of budget-friendly kitchen essentials under $50, they're all linked in my Amazon store below. And the full written recipes for exact measurements? That's on my website, thedivinechef.com. Everything you need is right there. If this helped you see that comfort food doesn't have to wreck your budget, then do me a favor, hit the subscribe button right now. I share new, budget-friendly, plant-based recipes every single week. And if you want more cozy comfort meals like this, I have 2 you absolutely need to try. My chickpea and dumplings and my creamy baked mac and cheese. Both of those videos are linked right here on the screen. Until next time, friends, stay warm, stay nourished, and keep cooking with love. Bye for now.